go overtime, try to, keep it smart, not free, so everyone can see. Taking questions. We hope that everyone gets a chance to ask a question. Do not repeat it, not repeat it. We want everyone to have a voice tonight, and this is our 2 hours to get it done. So first off, we'll let Ms. Stevens do it.
The flooding issue.
Okay, well, really quickly, I am very pleased to announce, we've gone 2 years with barely a town council. We were out to poll last month. We put the word out, we were closing down, because there was only 3 of us, we couldn't get anything done. And look at these applications.
There you go.
Council positions, so we can keep adding. But we're gonna change some things. We're gonna work on new bylaws so we can get everybody in here, that have a voice in the community. We want and it's been a long time coming. There's so many things we can do in this town. So normally we call your name, swear you in, and seat you at the table, but tonight's meeting's just for the flood hazard area. So I want you to stand up and call your name, and stay standing up until you're all up, and let everybody applaud you for standing up. Joel Reeves. Awesome, Joel. And Rivera. Tina Stone. Terry, what's your last name? I can't read. Baker. Terry Baker. Francisco Murnau. Awesome. Melinda Maldonado. Here. She's not here. Elena Brooks. She'll be here. And George Quincarty, he applied for our sergeant at arms. We haven't had one in I don't know how many years. He couldn't make it tonight, but he will be sworn in next month. So we will have an official sergeant at arms. We will actually have 2 because another lady wants to share that position. So that gives me chills, and I just want to cry. We have a lot of work to do, but tonight we're going to go on. Someone was gracious enough to make these for us, so we'll probably pass you out. It's regarding the flood hazard area, which is awesome because we have no budget right now. Our councils are still tied up. We have no money. I've been very okay, great. All right. Oh, darn it, I forgot to hit the recorders there. Got too much going on. All right. So I'd like to bring up the county representative. I think Dale's still not here, right? Yeah. Do you want to start without him? Okay.
For all of you folks in the back, if you want to move to the front, so you can get a little closer, there's still seats that are left up here. You know, I invite you all to go and come up and fill the seats so you can hear these guys and have what it is they have to say. Not trying to be shy, not trying to be shy.
I'm Francis Dominguez from Building and Safety. I run the Antelope Valley office.
So if you can hear us with, Programs Development Division and essentially the liaison for the community and public works. So you're in contact.
Dale Brown, I'm with,
Okay, our main function tonight is really to explain the process, because it's the, understanding that there is a potential for, someone to clean out the channel on P8. And, we want to be able to give the guidance and the necessary, requirements for that operation to take place. So that's really my intent to be here today, is to talk with those people that are going to actually, be able to clean those sections out. Yes.
Just out of curiosity, that mess was caused by your broken water main. It was not an act of God. Because yes, we did have flash flooding that year. However, in 2004, we had 3 weeks of steady rain, including flash flooding. And there was nowhere near that damage. Your water main broke and nobody did anything for 6 or 7 hours. Where are your experts to tell you how much water flowed in that amount of time and what damage it caused? There were dead animals floating down the roads. So do you want the homeowners to take care of something that was caused by your broken water main? How does that make sense?
Well, it just,
My name is Victor, I have you stand up as you're talking so we can see you in the back. We can hardly hear you. If you could stand up so we can see you and hear you better.
my
Thank you very much.
understanding is, you're correct, there is a water line that got broken, but our water line broke as a result of the storm.
No, it did
Basically,
not.
yes, it did. Yes, it did.
No, it did not.
May I speak to help you? I was one of the properties with the worst damage on Jubilee Fest. My house and property was for over $30,000 over damage. Not from a broken pipe. All that did was keep the water running for hours after the storm. That's all that did. There is no way that a pipe that size can make enough water that quickly to cause that damage. The pipe broke because of a microburst, and I've lived down here over 30 years, and those microbursts happen. They've happened several times. Every time they happen, it's been very survivable because the flood area was open and the water did what it was supposed to do. 4 people along Stagecoach have purposely filled that flood area, causing all the silt to back up and now fill all the properties that have that flood area in it, causing the water to jump the road and hit my house.
Thank you.
I watched the whole thing, I was there.
Are there is there anybody here that is going to work in that flood section of that PA?
We are willing to help do
We're
the
gonna dig
cleanup, but
efforts
you
here.
guys have to help
We
clean up
got
as
a
well.
big effort, but what we need is, we really need the support from the county to go ahead and do things, but make sure we're doing it in the right way. We're gonna need sandbags, so we're gonna go ahead and, we're gonna need permits. These are all things that the homeowners, and to tell you the truth, I've kind of sided with them, I really don't think we should have to go ahead and do, especially in my business. In my business, because the thing is that right now, what we have to do is we have to address what our neighbors are facing. That is the ultimate concern, is like right now. The last thing we want to go ahead and happen to this again, right, to anybody. So what we're trying to do is get that PFC shot, all the fighting and all that stuff. We can do it, but we have to do it the right way. Right now, what we're trying to get these folks to do is section. Okay? That's what we want. We want these folks to go ahead and give us a permit. We want them to go ahead and provide sandbags. We want them to go ahead and provide all the other things that constitute our things like that. That's what we need to go ahead and get from these folks, really. We gotta go ahead and work together on this, so we can go ahead and get this where we can think about other things, legal things. And then what we have to do is we gotta go ahead and work together as a group, a whole town, we have to get this right. But right now, we're worried about what's gonna happen to us
frustration's been born out of too much time has passed. This is 3 years later. 4 years later, the county hasn't moved yet, haven't done anything. The pylons up, we put signs on the other side of the pylon saying danger flooded area, but what outreach have you done to the residents in 4 years? Other than now it's El Nino, it's gonna rain, oh crap. You know, this is putting a heavy burden on them, especially now that it's coming on the holidays. They can't shoulder that burden at the last minute. I've talked to pretty much every resident. I've gone door to door, Christine's gone door to door with me. I've heard their story, I've walked their land. They want help. They want to resolve the problem, or they wanna give up that land and have you buy it back. A lot of them voice that opinion. I don't know if that's an option, but they don't want the liability. I mean, that storm was a microburst, it can happen anywhere on any one of these streets. Our streets and corners flood out with every rain. It recedes eventually, but it floods out. The water may burst. They all watch it, they watch the river go down the street, they're not gonna believe that it was all just from the rain. I mean, I know.
Well, no,
It
was that big.
exacerbation of things, and I don't know how many, I heard of it ran for hours before it was repaired, so. The solution has to be a community one, and it has to be working with the community and the board of supervisors. You can't move those pylons and fix our roads unless we have every one of those properties on a 3-mile stretch, on a 2.5-mile stretch. On a 3-mile stretch, they all have to be level, coded, they're permitted. And at the last meeting, I believe you stated that we think that they might have to remove 2 to 3 feet of soil. There's no way a resident can do that with a shovel. And we conceded that, but what are your options to help them shoulder some of this cost? And it's 4 years later, I think we all should share the burden. Our town doesn't get much money as it is.
Unfortunately, as far as public works is concerned, there's really not much we can do. It's a private property and we cannot use our road fund or transportation funding on private property. And I understand the frustration, it has been quite a long time. We had actually staff from building and safety and our water resources shortly after early 2012 went door to door and tried to approach each property owner and explain their response.
No, nobody came to my door. You gotta be kidding. I never got nothing in the mail, nobody came to my door. Understand, you're part of the problem. Yeah, liars. You're part of the problem.
The thing is, there is damage. Your water main broke. We need permits.
I got a video of it right here.
We've got people that are willing to do the cleanup. Heavy machinery, whatever we've gotta do. But you cannot find the homeowner and you cannot charge us for permits to do the cleanup.
Right.
Not to mention, it is a health hazard. We've already had one person out here die of West Nile, and that water has been stagnant for 4 years.
That is your problem.
Should it be too much of a cost for us as residents to try to pay for it? We're asking people to volunteer every equipment that you charge how much an hour for. You don't even know. I'm guessing it's $30, $40, $50 an hour.
We try to.
Help us out with the, grants and the money, so you're trying to get them.
I have to go after dumpsters. I mean, I have to ask these people to burn tumbleweed on there. It's a lot of work. You want it done now, and it's not gonna happen now, even with the people out there working all day.
We have a question.
Now, who's gonna come up with the grading specs for these properties? How you, intend on getting, this enforced so that, the homeowner knows what to do? And then on top of that, if they do something, then you'll come back, and I've seen it happen, and you'll bitch and complain that they did it wrong.
Well, we did put out this guide back in early 2012, and this is what we handed out. But it does have information in it, and this guide will go out to the people that are going to do the cleanup. It does have a cross section.
All the residents?
Well, it holds all the residents, but primarily the ones that come in and start the process. But it does have a cut section in there that shows,
That's the 2011 grade sheet.
right, this is what we developed just
So,
shortly after
Since
the
you don't
event.
know how the soil's altered in that time, and you're
Right.
estimating 2 to 3 feet
Right,
removal of
right.
soil,
This is-
for how many square feet, for how many miles, what is the plan of all the soil off, and what is the plan to refill it? We need detailed plans that we can't pay for, they can't shoulder the burden of a survey, and an individual survey of each property. I understand the work needs to be done, but we have to, if there are no funds available, that has to be available to us.
Yeah, that's, I was gonna say, that is really a question for Dell, and, I don't know what the situation is.
I got a question. Okay, so the grading, that was a great point. And, the other gentleman over here, he was talking about mitigation. So that's what we're asking you. How do we fix it? And we see you shaking your head, but it was caused by residual risk from a previous problem that you had. And so what caused that is you got that pipe that broke, and because you didn't have the grading correct, that's why that water went down the streets. It didn't even go down that backwash, because we still have grass there. I live right back there on PA. So, because you had that you had this big old mountain of dirt on Frontier Circus, and so that blocked the whole wash. So whoever built that wash and called it a flood area, you better get them. Is it the Army Corps of Engineers? Because they're the ones who's gotta grade it. And if you guys, one of the stipulations that you're responsible for is to make sure that not more than 1 inch of dirt residue gets piled up there a year. So now we see mountains on the side of PA, so water can't even go in the wash. So somebody's gotta fix that, like I said, the Army Corps of Engineers, whoever built that, whoever called it a floodplain, you've got a big old highlight pen that shows that area, well then that means we dedicated that backyard for you.
It's not the Corps of Engineers that created that, the flood hazard was actually created by whoever developed the track.
It was already there.
They created the track map, and that's what they believed at the time could potentially be the flood hazard area. And unfortunately, as you can see in the assessor's map or on your track map, it was dedicated to the county, but it was never accepted because it's for a future street. So maintenance and responsibility still is with the property owner.
Right, but we're
The
talking
county
mitigation.
signed off on those homes when they were sold, and they were up to code then. What have you done that's changed out there that screwed this up?
It was your property when you were gonna build roads on it, and okay, you're not gonna build any more roads, now it's
So
your
who
property.
put a mound of dirt
Roads
there?
on the other side, that goes through my property, not theirs. I've been out here a long time.
You're not the only one.
Before there weren't even houses over there on State Hill, and PA was the river. And that was a dedicated flood area, like I said, it worked. It worked through multiple flashbacks, until people deliberately, there are 4 property owners, and unfortunately, they no longer own the property, but over time, deliberately filled that flood area. Deliberately filled it. The guy behind me brought in truckloads of broken, cement. It's in that wash now with dirt on top of it. This caused a buildup of silt to all the other properties as we got rains. So now the entire wash is completely filled. These people that own these properties are are liable to keep that open. By law, they bought a property with a designated flood zone. Anytime you buy a lot with a designated flood zone, you are legally liable to make sure the water can flow. Because that was not done over the last 30 years, and it has now become a serious problem, the people on the other side, like me and 6 other houses, got serious damage, so we do not have a flood zone in our property. We are not responsible to keep anything clear to protect our property. But we all took $30,000 and $40,000 worth of damage because of other people's mistake of not keeping their flood zone open. And I have letters from my lawyer that will be going out to each property owner, and if there's any more damage, you will be sued. Sorry.
I just wanna say that I understand where she's coming from, but in my property deed, it doesn't show that I'm in a flood. I'm on the lower half, I can have the deed right here, I can show you. I have the deed, I'm not on the top half, but I'm just saying, I use my lower part of my backyard, and I graded it, I leveled it out because I use it for certain things. So I.
There's no rear access on P8.
I
We're
understand.
off of 169, we're not even off of PA.
But I understand.
My deed says that I'm not in a flood hazard area, nor am I in a flood hazard zone.
But up at the top, I understand somebody filled it in because their deed said the same thing. They would fill it in to use their lower backyard. You bought a house with a lot of land, correct? To use that land. So if your deed doesn't say that you're in a flood hazard zone, I would do the same thing. I filled it in.
It does say that there's an easement.
You're a See, ours doesn't have water. I'm just.
One at a time. Everybody can see. So big deal. Quiet, one at a time. I live on PA. So don't blame me for your damage. No. Okay, all right, enough. No, you're stupid. No, you're stupid. She called it a church. You don't want to get over yourself. Get over yourself. Say what? You can understand this is the past week. Quiet, everybody. Come on, one at a time. No, ladies, please. This isn't legal. That's enough. Quiet. We're fixing to tell nothing with the residents. I should let One at a time.
Not really, you have a right to speak your voice, but don't call names and don't get loud.
I don't need to be attacked.
Okay.
So then don't attack.
No.
Enough, ladies. Excuse me.
Why don't you
Excuse me. No, I'm not moving, I'm staying right here.
Hey, quiet, who is speaking? Quiet. Please continue.
Oh, I'm done now. I was just making a point. My deed doesn't show me in a flood area zone. I understand some people have a channel. That should be maintained by the city who put the channel, obviously. But I would backfill my yard in just like I did because I want to use my lower part of the yard. What I'm saying is I can't understand where she's coming. I can't understand where she's coming from because her house did get damaged. But at the same time, if it doesn't tell me that I had to keep that clean, I wouldn't keep it clean. I would level it out and make a nice plateau for my kids to ride little quads and stuff back there. I have, nieces and nephews. So yes, I would do that. Sorry that it did flood over and messed up somebody else's house. I feel for you. I have no problem with
Your
that.
house didn't affect her house.
Right,
Well, I know.
our
I'm
house
just
was
making a point about that.
Right, what I'd like to bring up is, I bought my house in 2012, in December 2012. My new current deed shows that I am not in a flood hazard area or a flood hazard zone. So why should I have to maintain it?
Why do I need to pull permits to take my fence down? Why do I
Right
need to
here's
do
my
it?
deed, I will show you, it says
I
I'm
would have never
not
bought
in
a
the area.
house if I could use that land. That cuts my backyard into a small backyard. I could move the Palmdale and
I bought half an
no
acre.
yard.
Okay, one at a time, please. Not everyone on 169 has that privilege though, but yes.
Okay.
Right, okay.
I don't live up there on PA. I live up in front of the Buttes on 174. But I went up there at the request of Mr. Hernandez here to look at it. What I see at the top of PA, where the backyards are back up, we saw their property is eroding. They're losing their backyards. Now, there's a gap that is humongous that has been caused by water flow. Whether or not it's a water main break, I don't care. But it is humongous. And then you get back down, all the way down, and you find that people filled that in. So now what you've got is a road that's been closed because it floods consistently. And that's where the stagnant water is sitting, is right there. Okay? And that is a danger, it's a health hazard, I agree. It definitely is. It should be opened up. The reason why it's stagnant is because on the other side, which is east of there, those yards, there's no flood, there's no runoff. There's no area for the water to go. So the thing is, regardless of who filled it in,